Hey, everybody, welcome back. Happy Wednesday here on YouTube Live. My name is Byron Elton. I'm CEO of CancerVax and a cancer survivor. Delighted that you could join us today, and thanks for carving out some time to join us. Lately our inbox has been buzzing with a very specific set of questions from our investor community. It really boils down to what's the heartbeat of the lab right now, and when do we move from the bench to the bedside? Well, I love these questions because they get to the core of what we do. Um, in biotech, there's a period of quiet that is actually the loudest in terms of value creation. So today, I want to pull back the curtain on that process. We're going to talk about the engine room, the preclinical and animal phase, and why this specific moment in our timeline is where the most critical de-risking happens. So right now, we're in the very heart of our animal study phase. For those new to the space, it's easy to see this is a hurdle to jump over, but in reality, it's the blueprint for everything that follows. By the way, if this is the first time you're joining us, a lot of great information on our website, cancervax.com. Sorry about that. You can tell this is live. We mentioned that our website is a wealth of information, cancervax.com. If you'd like to schedule a call with a member of the team, go to callcancervax.com. It's a very simple calendaring app there. You can schedule a call. We take hundreds of calls a day, or lots of calls a day from people all over the world, and we'd love to talk to you. So as I mentioned, we're right in the heart of our animal study phase, because before a single drop of new therapy reaches a human patient, we have a moral and regulatory obligation to prove two things beyond a reasonable doubt. First is safety. It's what we call the toxology threshold. We have to prove that the therapy is tolerated. We're looking for any adverse signals, ensuring that our approach doesn't just work, but it's safe as it does its job. And the second is what we call our efficacy signal. We need to see that the biology we've mapped out on paper actually translates into a living system. Does it move the needle? No pun intended. Does it engage the targets we intended? So think of these not as boxes to check, but as the stress test for our science. Regulators like the FDA don't just look for good results. They look for a mountain of data that says this is ready for the human stage. So what does that work in the lab actually look like? Well, our team is currently running a battery of highly controlled studies. We aren't just looking for a yes or no answer, we're looking at the mechanics. First of all is biodistribution. When we introduce the therapy, where does it go? Does it reach the target tissue or does it dissipate? We track its journey through the body with surgical precision. And then what's very important is we track the vital organ effects. We monitor how the liver, the heart, and the lungs respond. This is the handshake is really, think about it, is the immune system engagement. We want to see how the body's natural defenses interact with our therapy. Is the reaction as predicted? Biomarkers, these are the breadcrumbs. We look for specific chemical or biological changes that confirm the therapy is performing its design function at a cellular level. Now, every one of these data points is being meticulously documented. Now, you may ask, why is that? Well, it's because this data forms the IND submission. You've heard us talk about IND. That's investigational new drug application. That's the passport that allows us to cross the border into clinical trials. Now, I know that sometimes this can feel slow from the outside, but in biotech, precision is speed. Because if you rush this stage and miss a small detail in a toxology report, as an example, it can cost you years and tens of millions of dollars down the road. So by being disciplined now, by ensuring our results are repeatable and our documentation is bulletproof, we're actually building a high-speed rail towards human studies. We take the time to do it right now because that's how you build a platform that lasts. Let's talk about a real-life transaction that happened here recently. We talked about this last week, and that is to put this all into perspective, the Eli Lilly acquisition of Orna Therapeutics. It was a $2.4 billion deal. But here's the part of this deal that should make every investor lean in. Orna was acquired by Lilly before they even started clinical trials. Orna is in the preclinical ready stage. That's exactly where CancerVax is focused today. Orna's CAR T asset was backed by, granted and admittedly, very, very solid and robust data, but it's, as we mentioned, it's preclinical, and that's important because that's exactly where we are. We take the time to do it right, as we mentioned, just like Orna did, because we're looking to be that kind of an acquisition target as well. Well, what does this tell the market? Well, number one, it tells us that Big Pharma doesn't wait for phase 2. Companies like Lilly are hungry for platforms with strong underlying biology. They buy the science and the delivery system because the valuation is in the IP. Orna's value wasn't in the human data yet. It was in the intellectual property and the proof of concept shown in the lab. You need to understand that milestones, of which we've had plenty, really drive the deal. That $2.4 billion figure is tied to scientific progression. The industry rewards those who hit their marks with clinical ready data. Okay, how does this apply to CancerVax? Well, we're following that exact same path of value creation. By generating this animal toxology and efficacy data, we are building the foundational evidence that attracts major partners and satisfies regulators. So when you hear us talking about lab results, remember, this is the inflection point. This is where the hypothesis becomes the tangible asset. We aren't just waiting for trials. We're building the evidence that makes those trials possible and powerful. So in conclusion, understand biotech is built block by block. We're not interested in shortcuts. We're interested in garnering durable value. So when we come back to you with our next set of results, you can trust that they are backed by the highest level of scientific rigor. So if you want to dive deeper, go to callcancervax.com, schedule a call with one of our executives. You can go to startengine.cancervax.com. Very easy way to invest for existing investors to enhance their position, or perhaps you're looking to invest for the first time. And of course, cancervax.com is where you can go to find out all kinds of information about the company, including a very, very precise 2.5-minute video that will tell you all about our technology. My personal email is Byron, B-Y-R-O-N, @cancervax.com. I get lots of emails every day. I answer every single one of them. I'd love to get yours. So thanks again for joining us today. As we're building our milestones and sharing this information with you, we will keep you posted every step of the way. And we look forward to seeing you again here next week. See ya. My camera fell down twice.
Well, other than that, it was a lot better.
Was it? Okay, good. Jeez.